My name is Matt Beausoleil, and although I'm not a classically trained chef, my passion for cooking and refined palate have earned me great respect in the culinary industry. Join me and many amazing people who call the Outaouais their home as we prep, cook, and bake at the beautiful Alpina Lodge located at the renowned Le Nordique Spa in Chelsea, Quebec. From community members to chefs, we will highlight the cultural diversity and incredible food scene that the Outaouais has to offer. I myself chose to call the Outaouais home, and it is because of the wonderful people that you will meet that we can truly enjoy our region. This is Cooking Adventures Outaouais. Hello and welcome to our kitchen. I'm very excited to share another recipe with you that will truly showcase the Outaouais' culinary and cultural diversity. Today's guest is the chef de cuisine at Les Fougères in Chelsea, Quebec, which placed 61st in Canada's 100 best restaurants in 2020. This chef has traveled the world to learn from some of the top chefs and is the Canadian culinary champion in 2019. Please join me in welcoming Chef Yannick La Salle.
Thank you very much, Matt, for having on this show. It's always a pleasure to be collaborating with you.
Absolutely, it's fun. We collaborate a lot, right, on social media and promotion and, of Les Fougères, and obviously with the Canadian Culinary Championship, so it's a pleasure to have you today. So in 2015, you really wanted to explore the world and explore different types of cuisine and different chefs. You traveled to different parts of the world to learn. Tell me a bit about that experience and who you trained under.
So when I finished my culinary program in the Outaouais, I went off to working at Le Rimouski in Chelsea.
Right.
And I had the opportunity to go in stage for a chef in France,
Right.
just outside of Paris.
Cool.
His name is Régis Douisset, and he has 2 restaurants at 1-star Michelin each.
Right.
And he worked underneath Paul Bocuse.
Right.
So I've stayed there for a few weeks, learned
Nice.
from him, and that's when I realized that cooking is intense and
Right. And Paul Bocuse is like the big international festival too, right? He started that international cooking competition that happens every 2 years, the Bocuse d'Or. So that's a really reputable chef that you trained under, which is amazing. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
And then I came back and head off. I did a year at Le Rimouski. And
Nice.
then after that year, I figured that I wanted to see new things, so I went to work with Chef Charles Part and Jennifer Warren Parts at Restaurant Les Fougères, and I've been there since. But
Right.
in 2014, I had the opportunity to go and work with David Kinch in California
Nice.
at Manresa in the Silicon Valley
Right.
in Los Gatos. He has a 3-star Michelin, and he's really he's focused on farm to table. So a lot of his produce, his ingredients come from Love Apple Farms that they're in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Right.
So a lot of their vegetables, their flowers, their herbs are picked daily, brought to the restaurant, and they build a menu around that.
Nice. And I mean, you guys do the same thing at Les Fougères a lot. You guys grow a lot of your stuff yourselves. You guys obviously support local farms, local everything. Everything local is kind of what you guys focus on. I personally really enjoy the fact that you use stuff that you guys grow yourselves. It's something that, as a diner who cares about the food as well, it's really important to know that you guys grow it, take care of it, and then serve it. I think that's super special. And I mean, obviously you got to learn that in California, which is really cool.
Learned a little more in 2015 when the restaurant closed down for renovations. I decided to head on out to Terrytown, just outside of New York, and work with Dan Barber at Blue Hill at Stone Barn, which is another restaurant that's highly farm to table, highly focused on farm to table cooking.
Right. And I mean, that's the best way to serve somebody the freshest, most local and real ingredients, which is a beautiful thing. So at the end of 2018, you partook in the Great Kitchen Party Ottawa, which is the regional qualifier for the Canadian Culinary Championships. You won gold. You ended up going to Kelowna. You clobbered the competition. You became the Canadian Culinary Championship 2019. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
To be a part of a Great Kitchen Party is an honor.
Yeah.
It's an intense competition, and you gotta be prepared for this type of competitions because you're you're cooking against highly talented chefs throughout Canada. It's been quite the experience winning the regionals and heading off to Kelowna, which it's a part that I didn't see in Canada, so it was beautiful to see. It was nice to cook with other chefs throughout the country, and you know, the stars were in line. We got lucky, we took it home, and it opened up our eyes. The team, it brought a lot of energy. It brought a lot of clients to the restaurant. It was a nice visual, but you know, you got to keep your 2 feet on the ground and keep
trucking, keep doing what you're doing good, right?
Exactly.
And you're such a humble person, you know, you share your prize and all of the good grace with all your staff. And I think that's super important and very, very good of you, right? You're very humble. So, you know, we're in the Outaouais. I know you enjoy living here. You grew up in the Pontiac, I believe, right? What are some of your favorite things about the Outaouais?
The Outaouais feels like home, you know, the diverse territoire that we have, the 4 seasons that we live through, the neighboring farms that we're able to cook with their beautiful produce.
Absolutely.
And also family. Family is number 1 for me, yeah.
Absolutely. Great. Well, thank you very much. I mean, let's dive in. Isn't that appropriate? Let's dive into our dish now. So let's talk about what we're going to be making today.
So today we're diving into the snow crab from Rimouski.
Nice.
It's going to be served with a sauce vierge made from vegetables and a light fritto misto.
Light Fritto Misto. So we'll get to those different components as we move through the dish. Let's talk about the ingredients, because you know every great dish starts with amazing ingredients. So I'll let you take over.
Super. So the snow crab I picked up at Capital Fish.
Right.
This one is from Rimouski, but at the restaurant we work with our the fishermen.
Right.
Straight from Fogo Island.
Nice.
So they have some cod, they have some crab, they have some squid. All sorts of beautiful products. Beautiful. But this one is from Rimouski, it's lovely.
Nice.
The sauce vierge, today we're gonna be using some tomatoes from Savoura in Quebec.
Right.
And they are
greenhouse, right?
Greenhouse, that's the word.
In a greenhouse.
And then the other ingredients, sadly, they are not from Quebec, but in the high seasons,
that's right.
Our garden, Juniper Farms, Hendricks Farms, all sorts of little farms around Chelsea, around the Outaouais, have all sorts of beautiful peppers, fennel, onions, tomatoes.
Oh, for sure. I think the best thing and the most important thing to say is we support local as much as we can, right? And when it's off season, it's difficult to find the produce that we want. However, you know, we have to source it to make the dishes that we're making. But, you know, always it's important to focus on supporting local. But when you can't, you can't. All right.
And I highly encourage people to go and check the farmers' stands in the seasons, because there's some beautiful products. And don't be scared to try out something new.
Yeah.
And you know, it's good prices.
And we're seeing lots of like garlic scapes, which you didn't really see in the years past as people going to stands to pick up. But garlic scapes are just so amazing and delicious. But they've become so visible nowadays, right? They're everywhere. Every stand that has them. And it's just the what part of the garlic is it? It's the stem, right?
Exactly, the new growth.
It's the stem of the garlic. So it's just beautiful. All right. So
and
we've
then
got the peppers.
The peppers, the onions, the fennel, the tomatoes, the herbs that are from Trudeau Farms here in Quebec also.
Nice.
They are a greenhouse.
Right.
And you find them at IGA, Metros, and all sorts of supermarkets.
I think that's actually one of the interesting things I found a lot of here in Quebec is that, and in the Outaouais, is that when you go to these stores, like the big stores like IGA and Metro, you are finding lots of local produce. And I love that. It's not every grocery store that can do it, but here we see it a lot, and I think it's great because it's not everybody that can go out to the country and pick up vegetables, but when you can support local through the grocery store, it's the second best thing.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we're gonna finish it off with some beautiful olive oil from Sicily, but it's branded Les Fougères.
Nice.
A little bit of white balsamic vinegar.
Beautiful.
And to encourage people to waste less, the fennel will be used in different ways.
Nice. And I mean, we talk about that in sustainability. You know, it's very important to reduce our waste. And I mean, a Restaurant Canada show and all different competitions, they'll actually have a waste basket, and they'll actually weigh how much the chef wasted, because using and reusing different parts of what you're making means we waste less food and that we feed more people. So that's perfect. And then we've got a lemon here.
The lemon will be for you, Matt.
The lemon will be for me.
Yeah, for you, because
right.
you're gonna be seasoning the crab with
awesome.
a little bit of lemon, some dill, fleur de sel.
Fleur de sel, my favorite. All right, I mean, let's start prepping.
Super. And the Fritto Misto.
Oh, we missed a component. Yeah, Fritto Misto?
You want me to talk about that?
Sure.
Perfect. Fritto Misto is a light tempura.
Right.
Tempura. Tempura, you can have all sorts of different batters, beer batters. This Fritto Misto is lighter.
Okay.
Nice crisp. It's a quarter cup of flour, quarter cup of cornstarch, a little teaspoon of baking powder, some salt, and some cold club soda.
That's right.
That's what makes the difference between a soggy batter and a cold batter.
Yeah.
Sorry, not cold batter, but a crispy batter.
That's
is
right.
the difference between the temperature of being cold and the hot oil.
Right. Perfect. All right, let's get cooking.
Sounds good.
All right, chef. So now we're going to start with the Fritto Misto so we can cool the batter.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we've got our quarter cup of flour that we're gonna sieve. We're gonna sieve each ingredient, quarter cup of cornstarch.
Which will allow us to incorporate all of the powders together and aerate them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of your, when you're gonna be mixing your club soda in, it's okay to have a few lumps. You don't wanna overmix.
Okay.
And then a little bit of salt. 1 teaspoon.
All right.
So, I don't have a whisk, but I have some tweezers.
Perfect.
So
if you don't have a whisk at home, you can use tweezers. But you
Or a
likely
fork.
won't have plating tweezers. You would use a fork. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. To keep in mind, your club soda is about half of the club soda compared to half of your dried ingredients. So we had about a quarter cup
So we'll do about an 1/8 cup.
and a quarter cup. So half a cup.
Right.
Half a cup, and try to pour it all at once.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So I'll need your help.
All right.
Yes,
there we
sir.
Go. All right, we'll do this.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. We'll just mix. The club soda is straight out of the fridge, so it's nice and cold. And this batter, we could pop it in the fridge. And when it's time to fry, we just take it out. Super.
Because we want the batter to be cold.
So this is great. A few lumps.
All right.
Spot.
We'll put that in the fridge. Fritto Misto batter. Done.
Done. On to the next.
All right.
So we're gonna do some crab.
All right.
Clean up some crab.
So let's see the real techniques from the pro. Because I use this board for vegetables and meat and everything, I'll always use a plastic cutting board to help make it cleaner when I wash it after.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, perfect.
Super. So we'll go by sections. We'll crack this,
So we're cracking at the knuckle.
and then the knuckle we could just.
Perfect. So you've already boiled these, right? Or did you steam them or boil them? Or?
They come already steamed.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Oh, there's
Perfect.
a little piece.
There's a little bit of meat right there.
Okay, so that's just a tester. Always try out your ingredients, right? And a thing I suggest you guys to do is, if ever you're going to the supermarket or the fish shop, always ask the fisherman what is the freshest ingredient
That's right.
on hand.
Yeah.
What's your daily arrivals?
And that's one of the things we'll do when you're trying to create a daily menu or sometimes a special feature, is you ask what's the daily catch, what's the daily fish, what's the freshest. That can help drive your creativity in a restaurant as well, right?
Exactly. And if there's, no daily arrivals or nothing is too fresh, one of the ambassador, Ned Bell, always tell us frozen fish
Yes.
is lovely to use also.
Right, and all those IQF fish that are frozen at sea,
Exactly.
when we defrost them properly, they're basically fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, Ned Bell knows his stuff. He's a great friend of mine, and he works for the fisheries and the oceans, and he cares about that so much. But he tells that story all the time, and it's very important. If we can't get fresh, IQF fish that's frozen at sea is the next best thing.
It's great.
And it's excellent. Okay, so you want me to finish this?
So I'll
Or
just
you're
show
gonna
you
show
one
me
and
now
then,
next step?
so I broke it in sections and then use a pair of scissors and
Perfect.
just, whoop-a-lie, slip and slide. Just cut on
Both sides.
both ends and then open it up. These are good for stocks. Don't
That's right,
throw that
that's
out.
right.
Okay.
Reuse, sustainability, absolutely.
And then pull it out and then just break it. Sometimes you'll find
A little piece of cartilage.
cartilage. Yeah.
And we'll just take that out. Okay, perfect.
Super.
I can do that, I think.
Perfect. So the sauce vierge, we used 1 tomato, 1/4 green pepper, 1/4 red pepper, and 1/4 yellow pepper.
Right.
We used 1/4 of yellow onions.
Right.
If you have a smaller onion, use half of it.
Okay.
We're gonna use half a fennel bulb, and we're gonna finish off with the coriander, the olive oil, the balsamic vinegar, and the salt.
All right. Let's finish this up.
An optional is if ever you like a little bit of spiciness,
Right.
add a little bit of chilies.
Perfect. Great tip. All
Super.
right. Let's finish this up. All right. So now we're going to transfer the sliced fennel into the hot oil, which is at what, 350, Yannick?
350 exactly.
So that's the perfect frying temperature to cook the actual slices of fennel as well, right?
Exactly, yeah, the Fritto Misto batter usually gets cooked at 350. So we dip it into the batter, shake the excess off, and it takes about 2 minutes, okay?
And we're looking for a thin coating of batter, right? We're not looking for a big batter like
No,
a fish
exactly.
and chips, which is important to note. So it's a thin batter. We'll add a nice little crisp, and we'll use that on top of our dish when we're plating.
And if you don't have fennel, leftover fennel from the sauce vierge, and you have another little vegetable that you want to pass into a batter, please do. This is you can substitute this fennel fritto misto by by squash, by zucchini blossom, by fish. If you want to do shrimps, fritto misto shrimps on top of your beautiful crab, please do.
And fritto misto really means lightly fried, right?
Exactly.
All right, so once we're done then we'll start plating?
Yes.
All right, the best part, we get to make beautiful plates. I mean, actually, these are some beautiful dishes too, right?
It's handmade
Okay,
and also local.
perfect.
Marie-Pierre Drolet
Right,
from Outaouais, and also we have Karol Framovich from the Chelsea area.
wow, beautiful. All right, so I mean, local food, local ingredients, local dishes, can't get much more local.
Except local Matt, local Jan.
Hey, bingo. All right, let's move along. Okay, so we've got tell me which order we're gonna go in, because I'm not sure.
So we're gonna start plating this in a ring mold.
Okay,
Super. If you don't have one at home, it's not a problem. You can put this in the middle of a table and people share and
Right.
pass around the bowls. But today we'll make it a little fancier.
right,
That's how-
restaurant grade.
Restaurant grade, that's how we
Okay.
played it at Les Fougères.
All right, so go ahead. You can lead and then I'll follow.
Okay,
We'll see which one turns out better.
Super. So just toss the salad to make sure it's well seasoned. You get a little bit of the vinegar.
So that's the vegetable sauce vierge, right?
Exactly, which will go at the bottom. And you want a little bit of the jus that formed.
Right. So you're gonna put how many tablespoons?
So about 3 tablespoons
Okay.
For this size of a little appetizer, but you know, you'll eat a whole bowl of this. It's so addicting. It's fresh, it's crunchy, it's juicy.
Yeah, because all the herbs are in here too, right?
Exactly.
All right. So again, when you're spooning it into your ring mold or your plate, you can get a little bit of the juice too. Okay, and then Yannick, you're gonna move over to the crab, right?
Exactly, and then just press it down a little bit so it's nice and firm when we pull off the ring mold. Then at the restaurant we put about 3 ounces of crab. These are all weighed out before service, and when we get an order, we pull out 3 ounces of crab, season it with the dill, lemon juice, lemon zest, a little bit of salt.
Beautiful. And just to recap, the crab, it's just crab meat, lemon juice, lemon zest,
A little bit of dill,
a little bit of dill.
and salt, and then we're just gonna add a little bit of Maldon salt on top at the end to have that little salty crunchiness. So press it down lightly, not too much, because the nice oil and juice will become cloudy.
Right.
Okay, et voila.
Thank you. All right. We're getting there. I can almost taste it.
Smells like the ocean, huh?
Well, you know what's beautiful is you smell the fresh vegetables, you smell the onion, you smell the peppers, and then you get the nice smell of the sea with the cooked snow crab, the Rimouski snow crab. It's, man, and the dill. Of course, the dill is obviously
Yeah.
present there. I'm gonna put 3.5 ounces on mine.
That looks like 6 ounces.
Oh
No.
well, now we're getting technical. All right, so
So now
next?
it's the moment of truth.
I
We
feel like
pull
I
up-
should press it again.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
the moment of truth. Remove the ring mold.
Remove the ring mold, and then we're gonna top it with the fennel chip.
Perfect. Ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
Superbe.
Perfect. All right. Look at that, eh? That's beautiful. All the colors
Is that okay?
of the vegetables. Yours looks a little more packed. I think you have more crab than I do.
That's what they all say.
Ah,
And then we just finish it with a little bit of crunchiness. And, you know, please enjoy yourself. Be artistic. Plate it the way you want to plate it.
all right, and then we'll finish it with a bit of Maldon salt.
Exactly.
You first.
All right.
So this finishing salt will just add the right amount of saltiness to the dish, and a little bit of texture, right? A little bit of crunch.
Yeah.
Little beautiful pyramids of salt. Well, there you have it, eh? A beautiful Rimouski Snow Crab salad, a vegetable sauce Vierge, Fritto Misto, fennel. Let's try it. I think it's that time. I think we've earned this.
It's a perfect way to start off a beautiful afternoon.
Absolutely. Let's do this. I can't wait.
Bon appetito. Please don't be scared to use your hands. It's the best tool that you have while eating.
You know, the beautiful thing about seafood, like crab and lobster, is that, you know, it is salty, we taste the sea, but we also have that subtle sweetness. And it's really highlighted by the peppers, right? The pepper sweetness is almost highlighting that flavor of sweetness from the crab. And then we've got the salt that also draws out some of that flavor too. It's excellent.
Any critics?
Not today, Chef Yannick.
Not today?
Not today.
You sure? Yeah, it's because you made it, that's why, yeah?
I did a great job. Oh, it's excellent. So good. I love the onions, even though they're fresh, right? Not cooked. They're not overpowering.
Some texture, some fat,
and the reason
some
it's
acidic.
Yeah, exactly. The reason that we're not having excessive onion flavor is because we controlled how much onion we put in the mix. Well, Chef Yannick, it's been a pleasure. I mean, I get to eat at your technical, amazing hands, you know, at Les Fougères, and I always support the restaurant, love your style of cooking. So thanks again for sharing this amazing recipe with us and with our viewers.
All right, thank you, Matt. It's always a privilege to be able to cook beside you, to share recipes, to have a little glass of wine and to unwind. We look forward to having you at the restaurant and critic us on our new menu coming out soon.
Perfect. All right, well, to that, to friendship and to cooking. Cheers.
Santé.